Greetings, fellow teachers. I wanted to take a moment to talk to you about the reading from the book Teaching Transformed, which is going to be an important part of your learning for this online session. Just a little informal discussion of why this is such a foundational element in our program and in your work this semester and for the next semesters to come. I'm not going to insult your intelligence and read about the introduction. You can handle that on your own. But I want to get into Chapter 2, and there are a couple of things I want to emphasize with you. On page 18, remember I'm blind, so this is a little difficult. At the beginning of the second paragraph, there's a very important statement made. These principles are claimed only as current consensus, not a final or complete list of desirable elements. Very important statement, because already a sixth standard has been added, okay, which is about critical stance, and we'll talk about that in the classroom, and I believe it's already on your session 4 along with the other 5, but I'll double check that. Then the bulk of the Chapter 2 is focusing on page 20, which is highlighting the 5 standards for effective pedagogy. And these standards are teachers and students producing together. Now that's a little different than just releasing students into group work, collaborating, which is very, very important. But it's this idea that with an expert present as students are collaborating, that the learning will be much more enhanced than if you do what we've seen in ineffective classrooms, is put the students in group work and then you sit back and read the paper at your desk and expect them to finish by the end of the period. Developing language and literacy across the curriculum. Please pay attention to that. We are all language and literacy teachers, whether we're math, science, history, art, so on and so forth. Making meaning, connecting school to students' lives. This, to me, it's my focus area that is the most critical. When you are involved in doing learning with your students, we must connect it to their lives, to their culture, to their school, to their community, for this to have meaning to our students. Standard 4, teaching complex thinking, problem solving, creativity, activating those brain cells, challenging our students to do well. It's a critical standard of learning in anyone's framework. And finally on this page, teaching through conversation. You already know from what I've demonstrated in class how much I believe in that. I mean, that ties in. Well, I want to say this about all of the standards. They all weave together. It's like a braid in someone's hair, putting all that together into one solid product. They must all be incorporated. Now, as you go through the chapter, you will read a synopsis of each of these 6 standards. And again, I'm not going to insult your intelligence. You can do that. There are also examples of a classroom which employs this work and one that doesn't. I just need you to know that the reading of this book, especially at the beginning, is foundational not only to our work in this classroom, but to all of your work in this program. You will be returning to these standards again and again. So take your time, digest this work, question it, think of what else might need to be there, and we'll have an excellent class trying to put this learning into a meaningful context for each one of you. Thanks.